Hi everyone, my name is Anek, and I'm today together with Masha here. And yeah, let's wave to be more friendly. We really are very friendly, and we are representatives of the Institute for Language and Preparatory Studies of Charles University. And today we have a webinar about visa application, visa process. I believe it's one of the most difficult topics for our students. One of the main issues for the foreign student when they want to come to the Czech Republic. That's why we decided to make this, I believe, outstanding and perfectly describing everything webinar. And now I just pass the word to Masha.
Thank you so much. Right, let's jump straight into that. So as Anek have said, this process is really confusing for the applicants, for people who are coming to our courses. So we decided to guide you a little bit what it looks like so that you don't feel completely lost when you start applying for your visa to come to study in the Czech Republic. So the main points of today, we're going to be talking about first terms and important deadlines for the whole process. We're going to be talking about scheduling an appointment at the consulate. Then we're going to be talking a little bit about documents that you need for your visa, and we're going to mention the visa interview. First of all, one of the most important slides of today's webinar is terms and deadlines. And here you can see the schedule of the stages that you will have to go through when starting and going through the visa process. So this graph represents how the months when you will get your visa depends on the months when you will make your payment for the course, because we cannot send you some documents that you require to start the visa process before you make your payment. So only after that we can make your process possible. For that, I want to emphasize the point that it's best to pay for the course now in February, because the sooner the better. If you pay for the course in February, then you start the whole process now, you schedule the appointment, and it will most likely be scheduled for March. And bear in mind that the visa takes usually about 2 months to process. That means that you will be waiting for that in April and in May, and only in June you will get your visa affixed to your passport. And the same thing goes for when you pay in March. You also have to wait the same amount of time, but postponed for 1 month, right? So if you pay in March, you get your visa in July. If you pay in April, you get it in August. And you can see that this one is emphasized in red here. This is because May is the deadline of the deadlines, the very important deadline. This is the last month where you can pay for your visa to get it in time before the course, not to be late for your course, right? Because the course starts in September, and if you pay in May, you will most likely only get your visa in September. And this will make you to be late for the course, and you don't want to be late. So make sure to make your payment as soon as possible so that you don't have to worry about not having received your visa before the start, and you can come to the Czech Republic when your visa starts in advance before the course, and you can start without worrying about skipping the classes, missing something really important. So again, I will emphasize that May is the ultimate deadline for the payment for the course. All right. Now that I have talked about that, I want to talk about the whole process, what you will be doing. So before you pay, you first need to apply for the course, right? If you haven't done so yet. And on the slide, you can see the QR code for the step-by-step guide. It is really detailed. It will explain you everything, how you should apply, then how you should wait, how you should make your payment, how you should wait for a confirmation letter, etc., etc. So everything that you need to know about applying for the course and about making your payment, about applying for your visa can be found in this step-by-step guide, the whole process. Right. So imagine you have already made your payment. 4 to 5 working days after that, you will receive a scanned copy of the letter of acceptance from us. And it means that as soon as you receive that, you can start the whole process by contacting the consulate and scheduling the appointment. So to do that, to schedule the appointment, you need to find the website of the consulate in your country. For that, you can scan the QR code here, go to the website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic, and you will find the consulate in your country, the closest, the nearest to you. And you can go to their website, and then you will have to check the requirements for registration and check how to apply for a visa in your country. You need to do this because in some countries, the process looks a bit different. In some countries, you need to apply yourself. But for example, in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, we need to register you at the consulate ourselves. So just make sure to check which process it is for your country. Right. So you either need to send the passport data and a scanned copy to the consulate yourself, or you will do that for you, depending on where you're from. Then a very important detail. When you have scheduled your appointment at the consulate, you need to inform your administrative assistant that you have been in contact with when making the payment, when receiving the letter of acceptance. You will need to inform that assistant as soon as you get the appointment, so that we can start preparing some documents that you will get from us to submit to the consulate. And these documents need some. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I'll just quickly do something to make the presentation probably better. Is it working now? Is it okay now? Okay, do you still see the panel? Okay, so I don't see it, and I don't really know how to make it disappear. I can just try to. Do you still see it? Okay, so I'm sharing it again from the beginning, but I will just get to. Okay, do you see it? Okay, sorry. Let me try again. Sorry for the technical difficulties, and we're gonna have to restart the presentation, and I hope that it will be working. Do you see it? Okay, without. Okay, so our technical support has just told me that you couldn't see the QR code fully, so you can scan it now. I will leave it for a second so that it will be available for scanning. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Okay, so if you didn't manage to scan it right now, then this video will stay on YouTube and you can actually return to this moment in the webinar later and scan it after that. Okay. Meanwhile, I will move on. Yeah, so where was I? You need to inform your assistant as soon as you get the appointment scheduled, because we need to send you the documents, and sending it by DHL also takes some time, so we need to know when to send the documents in advance. Okay, now you may have some questions about the whole scheduling and appointment process and about how long everything will take. So how fast will the consulate respond? We cannot tell you because it depends on the consulate, right? So it can be a week, it can be 2 weeks, it can be a month. Nobody knows. It depends on how busy this very consulate where you're applying to is. What date and month will I be assigned to visit the consulate? Again, we cannot tell you. It also depends on how many people are applying at the consulate in this very moment and how busy it is. So you will be just scheduled a certain date and you will have to just accept that. Then, can I get an appointment date sooner? Unfortunately, no. If the consulate tells you this is the nearest date available, it truly is the nearest date available, and you just need to, again, accept the fact that you cannot have the visa earlier. But then again, to have the visa earlier, you need to pay for the course earlier so that you don't worry about being late for the course. All right. Now, imagine you have already scheduled an appointment at the consulate. What kind of documents you need to bring there? So there are two types of these documents. One type is the documents that we are sending you to bring to the consulate, and the other type is the ones that you need to collect yourself in your country. So let's see what those documents are specifically. First of all, the documents that you get from us, one of the documents is the letter of acceptance that we have already talked about. You will receive it after you pay for the course. Then you will also receive the study contract, the accommodation contract, and health insurance contract when you will tell the assistant that you have scheduled the appointment at the consulate. So we'll start preparing these documents for you, and we'll send them to you in time. But here is a thing that you have to remember is that we provide free DHL delivery only once, which means that you need to think about when you want to pay for your health insurance, because you if you buy it from us, then we'll be sending it to you, but we cannot send it to you before you pay for it. So the sooner you pay for your health insurance, the better, because then we can include it in the same delivery package. Otherwise, you will just receive it later, and then you will be asked to pay extra money after your arrival at the Czech Republic. So to avoid any unexpected payments, just do everything in advance so that you don't have to pay for it at all, and it will be sent together with this free DHL. Now, let's focus on the documents that you have to prepare yourself. So first of all, of course, it's your passport. Then you'll have to get a certificate of criminal record, bank account statement, and if you are under a legal age, so 18 years or how much it is in your country, then you will have to have a letter of consent with the departure of a minor from your parents or legal guardians. And all of these documents will need to be translated, but I'll talk about that later. No, other than your passport, of course, but I'll talk about that later. And also, mind you that this is just those are just the main documents that are usually required. But if you scan the QR code below here, then you can find again the website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and you need to check the list of the documents that your consulate requires. So in your country, each of the consulates will be different, and the consulate requires certain documents. So make sure to check whether the list is the same or whether you need to bring something in addition to that. Okay, so Next, I'm going to be talking in more details about particular documents that you need to prepare. So first of all, your passport. Your passport must be valid for at least 3 months after the expiration date of your visa that you will be issued. Because otherwise, like for example, if your passport expires before, I don't know, for example, you're going to the preparatory course and your visa expires in March, but you still have to study in April and May. That means that the visa cannot be issued because your passport will already have expired. So it needs to be valid at least 3 months after the expiry date of your long-term visa. For the passport, you will have to make 2 ordinary copies of the page with your personal information and photo. So you don't have to make copies of all the pages that are in the passport, just this page that I've mentioned. Right. Then we have certificate of criminal record. This document must have the appropriate degree of legalization. If you scan the QR code, you can find out what the appropriate degree is. And then this document needs to be translated into Czech. Again, I will return to talk about the translation later. And after it is translated into Czech, you need to make an ordinary copy of it. Yeah. Now we have bank account statement. Bank account statement is basically a confirmation that you have a certain sum of money available on your account. For this, we encourage you not to make a special account. So if you already have one account in the bank, you can use it. You don't have to create a new one, because for the consulate, it might look suspicious that you have created something and you have no transactions whatsoever there, and they'll be wondering like, what is that? Why did you do that? Right. So you need to make sure that payment debit card is linked to the account, and you don't need the transactions, but the consulate may ask you about the transactions later. Then this document also needs to be translated into Czech. Again, I will return to talk about that later. And very important thing, you need to bring the card that is linked to the account to the consulate when submitting the documents. It is really important. Do not forget to bring your card. And you need to also make an ordinary copy of the translated document and the card, right? So you need to make a copy of the translated bank account statement and the card, just the front side. You need to bring the copy as well. Right. So the minimal amount of funds can be found here. If you scan the QR code, you will find out what sum of money you should have in your account to state in this account statement. Okay. Now, only for information only for minors. And this is something that you need to actually leave the country if you're under 18. This is consent with your departure. It needs to be notarized in accordance with your local legislation. It needs to be translated into Czech, and one ordinary photocopy of the translated document is enough. So you need to bring that as well. Now, I finally got to the translation part. So the documents need to be translated by a Czech court translator. One option is that we can assist you with the translation, so you can contact your administrative assistant via an email, and we'll just make the process done for you. And the other option is to use the help of court translator or notary, and you can find the contacts at the website of the Czech consulate in your country. So you have 2 options: either do it for us, and the other option is to find a court translator that works at the consulate in your country. Right, the QR code is there again for the Czech consulates, and we're going for the next one. Right. So imagine you have scheduled the appointment, you have collected all the documents, what else do you need to bring to the consulate? Of course, the application itself, the visa application itself. This is what it looks like. And here is the QR code, which you can scan to download the application form so that you can familiarize yourself with it. And here is a QR code that you can scan to learn how to fill in this application form, because it's quite long, it is very detailed, and you might get some questions. Okay, how do I fill this in? All of that is described in our step-by-step guide how to fill in this application. So make sure to scan the QR codes, and it will help you to deal with it in an easier way. You can fill in the form both you can both print out and fill it with your hand, or you can just use a PDF editor and just type the information in. Okay, so now some more terms and deadlines. So we had them in the beginning, and they were concerning the payment for the course. Now, again, I will mention that it takes 60 days to process a visa for a foundation course. For a 2-semester course, it takes 120 days. So make sure to keep that in mind as well. If you are applying for this course, then you need to bear in mind that some of the documents will take time to prepare. So they will take time to be issued. Then they will take time to be legalized, to be translated, and also you will need to think about us sending you the documents in time, and that delivery takes time as well. So you need to keep all of the deadlines in mind and start the whole process as soon as possible. And also, on the other hand, you need to think about the expiration date of your documents. So if you collect some of the documents too early, they might have already expired by the time you go to the consulate. The expiration date is 180 days. So if your document is 180 days old, then it will not be accepted by the consulate. So you need to keep that in mind as well. Okay, so now when you have finally collected all the documents, you have filled in the application form, you come to the consulate. What's next? So you submit the documents, and in some countries, the interview for the visa is done when you submit the documents. And in some countries, you can be invited for the interview on another day. But in any case, you need to be well prepared for this interview. And for that, you can scan the QR code that you see to find the possible questions that you can be asked during this interview. It is nothing particularly hard. You will easily pass it, but you need to be prepared for that, right? If you go unprepared, there is a chance that you might be confused about some of the questions and will struggle to answer. So make sure to check the questions in advance. Right. And when you have finally gone through all the stages, submitted the documents, and had your interview, you will just have to wait for the visa approval. This is a QR code that you can scan to check the status of the application. But mind you, not to try to check the status immediately after submitting the documents. You might be just frightened by the fact that your application has not appeared there yet. Don't worry about that. It will take time. We recommend you to check the process, the stage of the process a month after you submit the documents to make sure that it is there and the process has started. Right. When you have finally checked the website and it says that your visa has been approved, now what? Then you will have to go to the consulate and get your visa affixed to your passport. For that, you need to bring some things with you. One of the most important ones is the health insurance. Then you will have to take your passport as well, because this is where the visa will be affixed, right? And if you cannot go to the consulate yourself, there is a possibility to use to bring a power of attorney to issue it to another person, and the person will come to get your visa instead of you. And one detail about the visa: when it is already affixed to your passport, make sure to check the date it is valid from, because you cannot enter the Czech Republic before this date, right? So make sure to, for example, if your visa starts on the 1st of September, you cannot enter the Czech Republic in August. Even if you have your visa in the passport already, it's still not valid. So if it's valid from September, you can only enter the country in September or after that. All right. Yeah, and also one important thing that when you get your visa affixed, you will have to inform your study center assistant that you have been informing about all of the stages. The final stage that you will have to inform them about is the fact that you were issued a visa. So this is where it all ends, and you can see our contacts. You can scan the QR code here. You can see our email. You can see the number for WhatsApp. And if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. I was really happy to guide you a little bit through the whole process. Hope that now you're not that scared of it, and it is more or less clear what you should do.
Thank you, Masha. Thank you for this presentation. It was perfect as always. And let's check if we have any questions in the chat. I just see some, like 2 of them, I believe. The first question is, it was about those deadlines from the very beginning of the presentation. Are these deadlines from February? Yes, these deadlines are from February because we are in February now. But usually, like it's a rule that we open applications 1 year before the course starts. So, for example, for the course which will start in September 2025, the applications, they were opened in September 2024. It means that the student can apply for the course 1 year before they will come to the course, and they can start the visa process, let's say 10 months before they are coming to the course. So they have almost 1 year to fix everything, to deal with this process. So yeah, but now we are in February, so we show the terms from February, and also again, maybe I should emphasize the May is the most deadline for the courses which will start in September. For the courses which are going to start in November, the deadline is the end of July. So please be aware of the deadlines. Keep in mind deadlines when you are applying. And yeah. So the next question is, I'm not sure if I understand it right. By paying, do you mean the application fees or the first year of our study? I'm not sure about what payment was that.
I think that's the same thing, no? If you have your payment for the application fee is the payment for the first year of your studies, meaning your preparatory course. So,
yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
they mean the first year of the study at the university.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understood. We don't have kind of application fee. It's just that it's not like you pay something like, I don't know, 100 euro and you provide your application. You provide your application for free. You just fill it on our website and we start the process. We look through the application, through all the documents that you attached. And if everything is okay, we send you the information about the payment, how to make a payment and everything, and so on. So there is no application fee as such at the beginning. I'm sorry. But if you paid for the course already and you cancel the course at some point, for example, I don't know, due to the visa rejection, or you just change your mind, which also can happen, we will refund you 95% of the course fee. So we will give you almost all money back, but just we will leave to ourselves 5%. And this, at this point, we call it application fee, something like we already did so much for you, we send you documents and everything, so we need to cover our expenses at this point. And we say, okay, we will refund you 95%, but we keep 5% as application fee. But there is no application fee at the beginning. It's for free. You can do it. Then we have a question about okay, question about what you said related to the visa issuance and the entering in the country. And what is the question?
So maybe I can just repeat that. Basically,
Yeah.
you will be your visa will be valid from a certain date. So imagine the situation when your visa is valid from the 1st of September 2026, right? So if it's valid from this date, you cannot enter the Czech Republic before that date, but you can enter it any time after the visa becomes valid. Right. So even if visa is affixed to your passport in, I don't know, July, but it's valid from September, it doesn't mean that you can come to the country before September, even though your visa is already in your passport. But you can only come to the country after it becomes valid. Right? It might sound like a very simple thing for those of you who travel a lot, but for people who are getting it done for the first time, it can be a little bit confusing. So I'm just emphasizing this. If you had another question about this issue, you can type it now and we will answer that.
Yeah, we have it. We have the same question. I believe it's kind of like more detailed to that question. If the visa is issued from September 1st, but Albanians can regularly, without visa, enter EU, do we still need to wait till September 1st? No, you don't need to wait till September 1st.
If you can actually enter the country because of some other agreements with your country and Czech Republic, then you can enter. I'm saying it for a situation when there is no time period that,
yeah. I know that Albanians, they can enter, like they can have this, let's say, non-visa period. It's 90 days within 180-day period, something like that. So you can actually enter before, like, I don't know, to travel a bit, or maybe you want to apply for our summer courses and start your study a bit earlier in summer and something like that. But then from September 1st, you will have, let's say, different legal status here in the Czech Republic. You will become a student, and and you can use your study visa here to stay here for 1 year, actually, because with just like this, inside these agreements with Albania and EU, you can stay only like 3 months. So yeah, you can use it to enter before. If we have any other questions, please write them now, or you can always contact us. You still have our contacts. I believe you still have our contacts on your screen, so you can contact us anytime you want. You can use email or WhatsApp. So please just or you can even, if you will scan the QR code, I believe you will get to our web page where you can leave your question and your contact, so we can contact you back. So, okay, we have great thanks a lot from Irena. Irena, thank you for being with us. So yeah, just one reminder again. I'm not sure if this video will be available at once when we will finish, but it will be available soon here at the same YouTube channel. So please feel free to watch it again, rewatch it again, to send to anyone who needs the help with the visa to the Czech Republic, and we will be happy also to greet you here in our Institute for Language and Preparatory Studies of Charles University. So please become our students. We will be happy to teach you and to help you with your further studies and career here or anywhere else where you decide. Okay, so let's say
Thank you so
goodbye.
much. Thank you so much for watching the webinar, and thank you, Anek, for this wonderful conclusion. So if you don't have any other questions, then we can say goodbyes, and we are looking forward to seeing you in the Czech Republic.